Charter schools in Chicago are now using fines as a way to discipline their students. So what's happening at the Noble network of charter schools in Chicago is if a student is caught chewing gum, if he or she has untied shoelaces, or if he or she has a button unbuttoned on his shirt, they will basically get a $5 fine. And these fines add up because if you get 12 detentions a year, you will be forced to take a summer behavior class that costs $140.
Well, so 18 different ways to get money out of those parents.
Right. And these are mostly low-income students.
Yeah, look, when I chewed gum in class, Miss Elefante would make me spit it out. Problem solved. Okay? We didn't have these money-making scams back in the day. And it's just, look, man, how many stories have we done of whether they get fined or they get arrested for farting or whatever it might be? Everything is massive penalties. Everything has to do with money. It's sick, man. Just give the kids an education. Yes, kids fart in class. Sometimes they chew gum. It's called detention. Look into it. That's how we solve problems. Gets really bad, you suspend them.
Yeah, let's discipline kids when they actually need to be disciplined. Like, I can't imagine disciplining a kid for having an untied shoelace. Like, that happens sometimes. Sometimes my shoelace gets untied. Should I be punished for that? Have I been a bad girl? Like, I don't get it.
That's an interesting idea. Have you been a bad girl? Should you be punished? Okay.
Well, but, you know, and then also, Rahm Emanuel was interviewed about this. And it turns out that he's very supportive of it.
Of course he is. He's Rahm Emanuel.
Yeah, he thinks it's a great idea. It's a great way to discipline these kids.
And by the way, look at the other problem that it creates. I don't want to get too lib on you, but look at the income inequality that creates. So if you're rich and it's a $5 fine because your kid was chewing gum, who cares, right? But if you're struggling already and you're trying to figure out how to get that kid lunch, and there's all these different fines because his shoelaces happen to come untied, well, that's a much bigger chunk of your income, and it hurts you a lot worse. We have a so-called Democratic mayor there in Chicago who's like, yeah, who cares? But you know why? Because Rahm Emanuel made millions of dollars as a banker earlier. So I guess to him, he's like, yeah, whatever, poor people, who cares?
Just one more thing about it, though. You know, it teaches kids to never question authority and to live in this uniform lifestyle where everything is neat and tidy and there's no disorder and there's no questioning. It's disastrous because kids are supposed to be kids. They're supposed to be free to share, whatever ideas or questions they have without worrying about being disciplined for it. If they're being disciplined for having an untied shoelace or a button that's unbuttoned on their shirt, that's crazy. They're going to be scared to do anything in school.
Yeah, and look, so this is an important thing. First of all, when I was a kid, I questioned authority all the time, and it got me in a lot of trouble, okay? But you know what we did? When I became an adult, we questioned authority, and we built a whole show on it, and it's worked out pretty well, right? So there's a reason why it's important to give the kids independence, et cetera. It's not to say you shouldn't punish them at all. You can't have every kid deciding to make up their own rules in school. And I would often get detentions, and then my football coach would punish me extra for being late to practice. It was a pain in the ass. That's how it's supposed to work, okay? Give them a little breathing space, give them the appropriate punishment, but don't send them to jail and don't fine them.